Welcome to the Q-Torals podcast. That's Chef Jordan Jackson. I'm JD, and we've got a guest.
How's it going?
Starting it out with Joe Zavala of Zavala's BBQ, and welcome to our first ever guest podcast.
Whoa! I'm the first.
You're
guest.
the first. We're. Go ahead, Jordan.
Numero uno.
That's what I'm talking about. I feel special.
You're the first one,
and I wouldn't have had it any other way.
Look at the hat.
You're telling me you wouldn't ask Matt Pittman first? Come on.
No.
No, Matt Pittman.
No.
He didn't say no first.
Nobody's been asked.
You're the first one brought up. You're the first one to ask. I've been to your place. We've never met, so it's nice to meet you formally via the podcast technology.
I know, it's beautiful. Y'all are all the way in Georgia right now, right?
We're in North Georgia in the mountains and under 20-degree weather-ish.
Right, it's freezing always.
And check out the hat Jordan's wearing.
I know, 5-year anniversary.
He personally handed it to me.
Doesn't you have another one you wore during a podcast?
Yeah, it's down there. It's my...
it's your work hat? Your work Zavala's hat?
Those are all destroyed.
I wish Jordan would come over here and work with us. Maybe during the World Cup. If I could steal him away, but I know you got him real busy over there right now.
He's busy. Jordan, Don't do it. Not yet. Not now. We're just getting going.
I think that was 5 year ago. See, that was a 5th year anniversary.
When was that?
Was
like 2
February.
Years ago?
That was 3 years ago. It'll be 8 years this February, I think.
Well, that was going to be the first lead-in question. We've got our notes here.
I was there day one.
Give us an introduction.
7 years.
Give us an introduction to your barbecue joint, where you're at, and when you opened, and just give us a little backstory on your business.
So do you want 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 35 minutes, 2 hours?
Let's go. We hope the people are patient and they just suck it all in, sponge it.
No. So I started in my backyard in 2016. Actually, July 4th of 2015, I made my first brisket because every Texan growing up, cooking out, and then you get home, you want to be a true Texan, you have to cook a brisket. So I cooked my first one, and everybody said it was the best thing they ever had, and my best friend CJ said it was the worst thing he ever had. So I became absolutely obsessed with it. And every weekend I was cooking, and I was in a little Oklahoma Joe, making 2 briskets in it, just giving it away. And then I had this great idea. I told my wife, I said, hey, we should start up this barbecue thing, online orders only, through Instagram. There's little risk, right? If somebody orders, we make it. If somebody doesn't, we don't. So January 1st, we opened Zavala's BBQ in 2016. So excited. All my friends were like, hey, we're going to buy this from you. I'm like, I'm going to be sold out for weeks. That whole first week, every single day I was making a post, make an order. We didn't get a single order the first week. It was like the most depressing thing ever. I was like, why did I do this? And then that Saturday, I said, thank you all so much for love and support. Now taking orders for next week, I'm going to go do these deliveries. Well, in actuality, all we did was take all of our boxes, put stickers on it, and pretend that we're going to go deliver stuff, but there was nothing being delivered. And then probably around March.
That's what you got to do.
Oh, yeah. And then probably around March timeframe, we started getting orders from people we didn't know. We were driving all throughout DFW to Allen, Frisco, Southlake, doing 2-pound minimum order with a $5 delivery fee. And, every weekend we were selling out. So people thought we were like this greatest thing ever. But in reality, it was only 2 briskets and a pork butt. So it's like the funniest thing ever.
Genius, though.
In an Oklahoma Joe. And then, we bought a 500-gallon. I said we're going to build this smoker. So we built it. And then about 2 years later, my buddy CJ, who said my brisket was terrible, signed us up for our first pop-up. It was a Hatch Green Chili Fest. It was 8 o'clock in the morning. We had like 5 people lined up. We thought we made it. We sold like 4 briskets that day. I was hooked. So we're like, hey, we got to find this place to get taken serious. So we started looking for places. Nothing worked out. And then we found this coffee shop. We said, hey, you can keep all the drinks. Can we pay you? I think we paid them $200 a week for us to post up there and sell barbecue as a coffee shop. It was called the Brass Bean. So we did that. That was March of 18, and we just knocked it out of the park. It was amazing. 2 weeks later, D Magazine wrote wrote an article about us. They city shuts us down because we don't have the right permits, so we're like all bum and everything. And then worked really closely with the city to create a special event permit that gave us 13 weeks of being able to make barbecue. And it was awesome. Like it was honestly, it was like the funnest times of our life. And during that time frame, we were starting to go out and eat at barbecue joints, because that was about 2018. So the year before that, the 2017 list comes out for Texas Monthly, and there's this barbecue joint that was number 4 called Bodacious of out in East Texas, and there was a chef there slash pitmaster named Jordan. And I walk up and I'm like starstruck. I'm like, oh my God, this is Jordan Jackson. And he had this 44 farm hat on. And we're like, he was just him by himself, because I think Scott was in Mexico or something during that time on a vacation. Oh gosh,
that's a whole story. That could be a podcast.
Yeah. I knew you were exactly going to do what I was talking about.
Could be a part 2, huh?
Oh, dude, that story, it's insane.
You have to bring Scott in for that. Yeah, right. It sounds fake, but it's real. It's real. Like 100% real. And so it was me, one of my really good friends, business partner, Drew, and CJ, my best friend, the one that said my barbecue was terrible. And, we just ordered the brisket, and that brisket is still the brisket that I'm chasing after. I wish I could replicate it. There's no one in Texas, because it's so weird, right? Because in Texas, barbecue is almost perfect right now, right? So it's very hard to tell a difference on like back in the day, barbecue joints had a thumbprint, and it was like who they were and their flavor. That thumbprint is gone now for most barbecue joints, because everybody's just doing
the same brisket.
Yeah. So like what was really cool was, and that's one thing I'm proud about Zavala's barbecue. Like, our brisket, you smell our brisket, you taste our brisket, you see our brisket. Like, we have more pepper than any brisket in the world, and we're proud of that. But pepper's just so expensive. But the brisket at Bodacious was made in 24 hours. It was utilizing truly the best beef at the time, 44 Farms. The fat just like rendered to this whole different level. But the thing that was crazy was the seasoning, because it wasn't just salt and pepper. There's chili powder. There was like maybe some sugar in there. There was some garlic, onion, like just a whole bunch of stuff in there.
You're holding out. You've been holding out.
That it's like the most unique brisket that no one ever is going to be able to replicate. And it was so cool because like if you eat it, you taste it, it was a brisket out of East Texas. That was I still say it was the best brisket I ever had in my life. And I tell people that all the time.
So that's crazy that Jordan's been up here for a long time, a year plus. It's been here since last year, and everything you just mentioned, all those are nightshades.
That was before the world of my nightshade demise.
He's got this allergy,
Yeah, because that was Zavala's barbecue. Brick and mortar's not even open yet, right? Like I'm talking about, like I looked at him and like he was the first person that I said, I was like, hey, can I come work for you for free for a whole weekend? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, you swear? He said, yes. He gives me his number, and then like I followed up with him the next day, and he said, I'm being serious. And I showed up for 3 days, and we just tried to stay out of their way. We didn't even do anything, and I learned more at those 3 days was a life-changing moment for me, because like I had more spreadsheets, more notes about barbecue, and Jordan just like giggled at me in a good way, not like a bad way. He said, barbecue's done when it's done. And when I tell you that was the most aha moment ever, it was because like you can be the most educated person in barbecue. You think you know it all. But at the end of the day, barbecue's literally done when it's done. And what that means is like temperatures outside, temperature inside, moisture, like all that stuff is real, because like we're just having an issue right now 2 days ago at my barbecue joint, because my pitmasters are amazing. But they're amazing because it's what I've taught them, right? But they're not, they don't have the context clues. Like It was really, really, really cold outside. We had this really hot meat with a whole bunch of moisture melting around us, and they're trying to speed up the cook, but because you're speeding up the cook, you're going to create this shitty ass bark instead of just letting it be what it is, and it'll get done. Granted, instead of taking 12 hours, it's going to take 16 hours, but that's the sacrifice that you have to make, is those additional 4 hours because of the weather. Unlike during the summertime, because everything's so dry and hot, like, yeah, you can push the brisket up another 50, 65 degrees and finish that cook an hour and a half early because the heat's dry, your bark is done, you're just rendering out that fat. But it's like all this stuff that like you don't learn until you do, and that's what Jordan means, that barbecue's done when it's done. Like, you can't force it. It's not like you're making a cheeseburger and you know every single time you're going to smash it at 30 seconds, you know you're going to flip it in 45 seconds to have a crust, then you add cheese in the last 10 seconds, throw a little water in there so it steams it, right? Yeah. But brisket, like, it's just it's its own animal. Like ribs you can do, but I don't know.
Well,
but I was very...
He's the kind of person that now that you know him pretty well, if you came back in there with that notebook, he's going to probably grab it out of your hands and tear it up and say, "Just watch, just because he makes me feel like that. It's done when it's done." You know, I've been cooking a long time, and you know, with restaurant cooks or whatever, backyard cooks, but that's his teaching tool. He doesn't make it seem like it's easy. Some people will say, "Oh, it's just easy. You can't pick it up." Come on, it's easy.
Right.
It's very instinctual, and that's
the way we teach it. It's instinctual, and I am not going to teach it any other way. And if I did, I'm going to be selling myself short on what I can teach somebody. Yeah,
truly. And you know, I've been saying for the last, this is our 10th year of Zavala's BBQ, going to be our 7th year, not 8th year, brick and mortar, and I owe a lot of it to Jordan Jackson. He's my mentor. I tell people that all the time. You know, we're in Dallas, so it's funny. Like, we use a whole bunch of sauce, and that's just a kudos to East Texas. In Dallas, barbecues chop and barbecue sauce, but like our sloppy Juan, you know, it's an homage to Jordan in East Texas as a sloppy Joe. Like, I was there, and he was chopping up 44 farm brisket, throwing in barbecue sauce, selling it for $1.95 sloppy Joe, and I'm like, what? And so it
wasn't me that created no sloppy Joe. That was Roland.
Yeah.
But still, we've talked about that. And we've also talked about the debate of chopped brisket has a different meaning. Like in East Texas, it's chopped brisket. You know, hand chop, Miller's. And then you get down in Austin, there's people that are putting in sauce and calling it chopped brisket, which is it's not chopped brisket.
Sloppy Joe.
Yeah, and we create the sloppy Juan. We
tell
throw
him
in
what
tortilla.
It is. Yeah,
it's sloppy Joe.
I didn't have that brisket
in a tortilla, and it came from Roland in East Texas and Jordan. It was an homage to them, and I tell everybody, like, it's literally because of them. And it's funny because like we didn't know. Like, I think one thing that people in the barbecue industry don't realize is when they get into it, number one, as much as you try to sell any other product, everybody wants brisket. So I don't want to hear food like, it is what it is. But, you know, we get judged by every Instagram photo. So if it's not a beautiful slice of brisket, it's really hard to hide it, right? So you have to think of creative ways to utilize it. And that's the sloppy Joe, because, you know, you get all the lean you can execute, and then I don't know if the other thing Jordan Jackson taught me was California burn-ins, right? It's a lean side. It's truly the best burn-in.
It's the literal first bite of a brisket, the first cut.
Yes.
And I would call him that to Roland. I was like, here, have some California burn-ins. I was just kidding because it's lean, and it just sounds like something somebody from California would want. And he would always say, hey, if you're up there near California, I'll take some of those burn-ins. Or he would say, hey, if you see yourself up and around Kansas City, I'll have some of those burn-ins. And that was the regular burn-ins out of the point. And he'd always tell me which direction he wanted.
I love flat burn-ins.
And that's the thing about barbecue. I love to tell people, is like, anybody can make it fatty. Anybody can. But if that lean is moist, then you know what you're doing. And the California burn-ins, if it's moist, you really know what you're doing, right?
It's all good.
We're always in that mode of trying to teach people how to cook the flat because everything else is following it. Cook a great flat.
Yeah, and I tell people they don't believe me this. I say 99 out of 100 times the reason your flat is dry or tough is because you undercooked it, because you're only tipping the flat and your lean was 15 degrees lower than what your fatty was, but you thought you were done.
Before we move on to the next question, you have to tell the folks about how you named your famous pizza pepper sausage that nobody even understands. When you hear it, you think it's one thing, but the meaning behind it is completely different.
Other thing that I'm really blessed on was I was able to meet one of the individuals that, if there was a Mount Rushmore of Texas barbecue, he's up there. And Absolutely. That was Miss Roland Lindsay. It's so funny. He was Terry Black's pre-Terry Black's. And what that means is he had multiple bodacious all throughout Texas. And not just like multiple. I'm talking about in the 10s, 12, 13, 14. I don't know.
They got up
how many he got to.
Yeah.
He had all these bodaciouses. And the barbecue was good. This, it wasn't a Dickies. It was the OG Terry Blacks, right? Because right now it's Terry Blacks. They're opening up like crazy, but their quality is high. That's what Roland was doing. He was pre all this Terry Blacks, and it's really cool. And everything, the cool thing about it is he made the process in place where you were getting everything centralized and you were able to replicate it there, right?
Right.
With barbecue, that's the hardest thing to do.
Except every Billy was different.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That was
every
what was
Bewley
cool
was
about
different.
it. Yeah, that was what was so cool about it. All of his
and because of that, that's the reason why we bought a Bewley. 2 years ago, we bought one because I saw it on Craig or Facebook Marketplace, and I had to get it because I needed a piece of Roland at my house. Or excuse me, at the restaurant. But I was really lucky. A couple times I went out there. Roland was still with us, and just the stories, the history. Oh
my gosh!
You just shut up and listen for 2 hours, and you're not even asking questions. He's just talking.
That's how we met. I used to go show up and just sit back there and wait for them to talk about this piece of refractory that was in this pit, and this was made. We had to tear this wall down. This weighs 4,000 pounds. And
right? Did you met Roland? Didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's.
And the coolest thing ever was, Jordan, make all their sausages. He literally, our sausage program is Jordan Jackson. He created the base for us. He told us, you have a base and you go from there. If you don't have a base, you don't have nothing. And he really helped us figure out what our base was. And our brisket boudin is Jordan Jackson. And actually, that's a funny thing. Jordan was doing all the stuff before it became cool, like the brisket boudin, the 5 different sausages, and the smash burgers, the pork belly burn-ins. He was doing all that before anybody was doing it, but everybody forgets that.
Yeah, no, he won't ever say that because he didn't want to step on any toes, but that's why he's here, because you got to teach people to go outside of barbecue, because not saying barbecue's boring. Central Texas barbecue is never going to be boring.
But it's boring.
It's got to go.
Boring.
It's got to go somewhere, and barbecue is a great ingredient. And listen, I was scared when I went to this place. You asked Nick this. I got out and said, I'm not going to have a tortilla. I'm not going to have, because I didn't want to set a bar that was like, okay, because I'd be going back to this place and then I'd be calling him on the phone. And what's the first thing I was telling you?
Where'd you get that tortilla? How'd you make it? What'd you do?
He's the guy, because I've been all over everywhere, and I just fell in love with like the Oaxacan, that whole scene.
Right.
That's kind of where I'm going food wise right now. I'm just all over that.
No, I want to go there really bad myself. The food scene there is excellent. I want to go Mexico City too.
We don't even know about mole in America. Mole is legit.
Right.
It goes with.
Think about like a mole sloppy wine.
That would be good, but that'll take us. We need to go find somebody who's been doing it for the last 28 years and get a piece of theirs so we can get going. But Roland was out there in the back, and we're eating sausage, and where he's telling us how to make sausage. And he's like, "Hey, yeah, he puts those pizza peppers in there." We're like, "What?" We're like, "What is a pizza pepper?" He's like, "The pizza pepper. You put the pizza pepper in the sausage just so you make it spicy." I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, I don't know. He's like, pizza pepper. You put it in the sausage, and I'm like, "Hey, Jordan," I said, "Hey, Roland's saying something about pizza pepper," and and a sausage? We red pepper flakes. I said, you got to be kidding me.
It's automatic. It just hit me like a car just now. I'm like,
but that's what they call it.
Yeah. So we call it it's called the pizza pepper sausage for rolling. Literally for rolling. Yeah. And we love it because people come in all the time. Like, ooh, I can taste the pepperoni. I can taste the pepperoni. I can taste the mozzarella. We're like, it has none of that in there. We're like, it's literally just red pepper flakes that's in there.
It is.
But you don't. The crazy thing is, you don't think. I mean, you can be creative. You can be a
chef,
but sometimes it's like out of necessity. Probably had it.
Like growing up, I thought that red pepper flakes were only in pizza restaurants. I didn't even think about it as
an ingredient for
anything else. I just you only get that when you go eat pizza somewhere.
That's a diamond.
It is.
And that's why we have the pizza pepper sausage, and then we have our brisket boudin, we have our brisket sausage, and we have a jalapeno cheddar, and they're all derived from Jordan Jackson's base that he helped us come up with.
Thank you.
We're going to have to make another visit.
I know. I'm always down for a visit. We're going to have to do a little bit more rapid fire.
Uh-oh.
Come on. I'll go fast. Let's go.
Jordan, your turn.
Okay. What was your why moment, and what led you to open a barbecue restaurant? Explain when you knew why you wanted to do that.
Or was there somebody that was like influenced you to get into the barbecue?
So it's a Texan thing. I think if you're a true Texan, you're going to barbecue. Right. And there's only one cuisine in the world that every single person feels like they can have a conversation with you. You're not going to go up to a pastry chef and say that there's too much butter in your croissant. You're not going to go up to a French chef and say this sauce is terrible. Right. But you will go up to a pitmaster and say my brisket is better than yours from my backyard.
And they do, and it is the funniest thing that a human could say to you.
And I just smile and I say, I bet it is. I said, that is awesome. But, we have the World Cup that's about to happen. We're going to have everybody in the world coming to Dallas and coming to Houston, right? There's only two things that you want from around the world. That is, you're coming to Texas. That is Tex-Mex and barbecue.
Right.
And barbecue is the only cuisine still to this day that you get instant gratification to see somebody's reaction to eating this food. And when they do a double take and look, and that was the most beautiful thing when barbecue was hard to find, like that travel and looking, that's what made it fun. Now you can get it everywhere, but in Texas, but the people that come outside of Texas and they have that bite, they're like, this is not what the barbecue tastes like where I'm at.
Right. It used to be a more discovery food, and now Texas has got 3,000. Every time
you're trying to discover how to not eat it,
you bump into a brisket cook every time you go anywhere. Walmart,
right?
Yeah, and the thinking, HEB, right? HEB's quality of their brisket is wonderful at True Texan. Like the bare minimum now for every barbecue joint. If you're going to open a barbecue joint, if you're not having a 98 out of 100 brisket, don't even open it up.
Right.
Literally. Because all the videos from Marion Franklin, all the videos from Jordan Jackson, all the videos from Meat Church that he's got from his friends, you can go online and you can make a 90% great brisket.
Right.
And then you get that other 5%, 6% by just trial and error. And then if you're going to be look, think about this. Zavala's Barbecue did not make Texas Monthly Top 50 in 2025. We made it in 21, and it's not because our food didn't get better. Our food got better. That just means that everybody else got better, right? People still come and eat our food and they're like, holy cow. But also I think we're in a different place with barbecue now, that it's like a sports team, right? I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, even though I hate them. I hate their guts. I never want to go to a game again. I love Patrick Mahomes. I love Josh Allen. I go watch him play. Same thing like barbecue. Once you have your barbecue joint that is yours, that's your team, but I still we're going to go pick up some stuff down in Austin, and we're trying to debate, are we going to go to Mum's, who's a new top 50, or try to sneak into Franklin's place because we may only have to wait 30 minutes because everybody's slow right now.
I have a confession. When I would go to work during COVID at Franklin's, on Mondays, I would always go to Miller's on the way and get 2 chopped beef sandwiches and a 32-ounce.
I couldn't
tea.
admit that for the first 7-8 years building pits because I would sneak in.
Loved them.
Get chopped beef. But yeah, that's the thing about Texas Monthly Top 50 is not 300 or 400 restaurants anymore. Now it's 3 or 4. I mean, there's always been that many barbecue joints, but everybody stepped up the game after 08. I mean, Dickey's could probably have made the top 50 in 08 just because of sheer numbers.
Right.
And now you're looking at these guys that are, I mean, some of these guys are hitting great food out of the park, and they're not even in the top 50.
Well, the funny thing is they're just doing all the stuff Jordan Jackson was doing back in 2017. They just made it. They just got new Instagram handles and stuff that are showing off
their AI in his photos.
I don't even remember that life of mine. So, did you have any prior restaurant experience to opening up Zavala's?
So I was a bar back when I was 15, 16 years old, and I was a bartender. And I told myself I'm never going to be in the restaurant industry again. When I got out, I wanted to be a consultant. I became that dream of being a consultant. And then this barbecue thing just pulled me back in. And this thing was supposed to be a hobby. Still is. Right. Not really. It's a business now. But I still have a full-time job because I need insurance and everything. But, we put a good team around us. They're absolutely amazing. It helped us expand to other horizons where, we're at the American Airlines Center. Helping them out, so that's absolutely amazing. The first person I called was Jordan Jackson, and also said, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing this." He's like, "Yeah." He said, "Just got to put a process in place." And then I reached out to Jonathan Fox also, and he said, "Just think about every single game as a catering." And once having those 2 conversations, it really clicked in my head, and now that's the way we're able to execute. Like every day is a catering, and we just get the product ready and take it out of there. Just been really grateful for that.
Let's talk about that particular business. You expanded. We're kind of going off our grid here, but that's good.
Yeah. That's what I do.
So yeah, that's fine. Take us out of the comfort zone because we like being. We live in this space we're about to be in. But so you've expanded. You're scaling. You're looking for new opportunities. You go into the American Airlines where concerts, basketball. Right. How many of those kiosks are you serving out of? Just one?
So we have one, but we help them with suites. So we catered to their suites, and that's been really awesome. We have this thing that's called a Zavala's board, so they get a whole brisket, they get a rack of ribs, and they get 4 sausages and tortillas. So it's been very awesome for us to be able to streamline. We drop it off, they serve it. It's really good. So we have one kiosk, and then we serve the suites.
And then while we're on the topic, let's dive down and talk about the barbecue distro. Let me see your picture.
Yeah.
How is that with business?
Tell everybody just kind of a little bit about that.
Yeah. So my wife owns a coffee shop called Moss Coffee Co. This is my office, and we had the back area that was empty. Matt had his meat church supply company. He had a location. I was like, you know what? Like I have this empty space. Maybe I can go ask all my friends if I can sell their rubs and sauces here. And so I drove all through. Actually, next month will be 3 years since we started BBQ Distro. I drove all throughout Texas. Literally, I went to Houston, to Snows, to Austin, pick up rubs and sauces, and every single person said, "Are you going to sell it online?" I said, "No, I don't want to compete with you guys." And they said, "We don't care." I said, "What?" So then I bought like 75 domains. BBQ Distro was available in every spelling. We launched BBQ Distro. I found 2 of my closest friends that are smartest people that I know that are in the consulting business with me. I told one of them, "You're my CEO." I said, "The other one, you're my CFO." And I said, "We're starting BBQ Distro." And it's been amazing. We've had 150% growth year over year for the first 2 years. We had 65% growth last year. We're cash flow positive, 0 debt. We've shipped to 50 states. We've shipped to 5 continents. Anybody knows anybody in Antarctica or Africa? Let us know. We'll ship for free.
We're getting on that.
Hey, we got a guy in Neelan.
Do we?
In Africa? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
we do.
We'll send them rubs and sauces so we can check that one off the box.
All right.
But it's been really cool. Like we're like when people say that they're starting a company to help people out, like this truly is because we buy everything wholesale from our peers. We give them a check. We've got them into some different wholesale areas, but we're also shipping them all throughout the United States. So it's really amazing. And then we have a really good relationship with our co-packers. So we're able to help some of our friends with R&D from the very get-go to be able to have, sauces and rubs. but it's been amazing. And then we get to create unbelievable content with some great partners such as Lone Star Beer, Yeti, Topo Chico, Turtle Box. So it's a really, really great. We get a number one, do amazing stuff. I get to hang out with my peers, because a lot of us, like, it's funny when we have conversations with our peers, we all think that we're special and our problems are unique, and then we find out we all have the same problems. It's like the greatest thing ever. It's the funniest thing, because it's like we all have the same problems. I promise you.
Oh, we do. It's just in different languages and different ways to express.
Right.
We're all wanting to. Come on, Jordan. Tell them we all want to jump in the wood chipper at some point.
Always want to.
Oh,
I've always
100%.
got I got a diesel wood chipper now that I can just keep idling all the time. I think I've just finally just stepped my game up.
So my doctor
Not
told me
really.
I gotta get my stress away. So 26 is no stress. So like I just my wife said just send people home. So now instead of me like I said, just go home. You don't want
Everything
to be here.
I've ever seen, I only know him through social media. I've never seen the guy where he doesn't feel like he's just, man, I'm ready to go. So, which is kind of your persona, but
Yeah.
I understand that too, because my persona is kind of like happy-go-lucky, but he knows it's stressful. Doing anything we're doing is stressful. If you want to open
Always.
up and make
Well,
a buck doing
like-
something great, you're going to be stressed.
Yeah, because the couple of things, like what's amazing is like we have a great team, and our people have been here for a long time. Like our one of our lead pitmasters in May will be here for 5 years. Our next pitmaster is going to be here for 4 years in July. Everybody starts off as a dishwasher. Like you start off a dishwasher. That's just what you do. And everybody after 30 days votes if the person stays or not.
That's cool.
I get people reaching out all the time that want a job, and we just create a place of like, I learned from Jordan too, like you don't need a big team. You just need a team that can do everything and learn everything. So they do. And that gives us an opportunity to pay them more.
Right.
I'm proud that we actually give vacation now to them. Like we were getting our butts kicked at the beginning of the season for the Mavs, and they were working 65, 70 hours. I could have easily gone and hired people to reduce that cost, but I didn't. I said, hey guys, you are in the right to make this money, right? And they did. And then they also know, like right now in January, we're slow. I'm cutting left and right because we didn't even make our labor or food costs yesterday at the restaurant. But being able to communicate with them that they understand it. We got to live for another day, right? On that. But it's just like now, like I feel like I'm past the like anybody can cook good barbecue.
Right.
It's now the business part aspect of it, right? I brought in a CFO about 3 years ago. It was very painful because July of 23 we were down to our last $6,000, and I
That
said
financial thing we were talking
Yeah,
about.
we just did a podcast on it.
Yeah.
the first time I touched my personal money, I was going to shut the business down, and I brought my CFO in, and he said, "You're not going to make it." I said, "No." I said, "Yeah, I know." And then after that, we got the Mavericks. The Mavericks were the biggest blessing that September, right? And then he helped us. Now we're the only debt that we have. I took out a economic development loan during COVID because I wanted to keep all my employees because I was doing the right thing. And then most of those employees are all gone now, right? From that part of time in 21. So, except our lead pitmaster. So it was one of those lessons learned of like, you got to be able to like make those hard decisions where you just have to rip the Band-Aid off, even though like it's people's livelihoods. But like either if there's not business coming in and you're not reducing costs, then there won't be a business here 6 months from now for anybody, right? But it's like
that's the thing you have to.
Right.
It's the focal point.
And the reason we're asking these questions because
We didn't tell him. We didn't even tell him.
well, we like to help the person that is just getting started. We're the biggest cheerleaders for the people and teaching people who are beginners.
Teaching them truth, teaching them in the weeds.
Right.
We just started this podcast series. We should have probably started off by telling them this.
Yes.
But we started this series in our podcast about commercial operations in restaurants, food trucks,
Right.
pop-ups, if you want to do a brick and mortar. And, it kind of dawned on me that we're diving into barbecue, say 2010, 12, 15.
Right.
A lot of people just want to go, hey, I want to learn how to cook the Aaron Franklin brisket or whatever, or Joe Zavala brisket, whatever the case might be. But you got to learn that. That's one bucket. You got to learn how to cook the barbecue. And a lot of these people have never been an entrepreneur. And so you're learning two new skill sets that you got to get an MD in one and an MD in the other, or you're not going to
the sad part is I have my MBA, so I thought I was the smartest business person in the world. And I tell people
he's
this,
already
like,
he's perfect candidate for entrepreneur.
and I tell people, like, you don't learn until you do, because until you have to make these decisions with your gut, and then also know it's black and white. So what's really nice is, like, now I almost tell people I have a cheat code now, because like I used to, like, when I opened Zavala's Barbecue, if my CFO looked at my business plan, he would have told me don't do it, right? Because it's not financially sound. Now he's like, you already did the hard work. You got through all the stuff. Now we just got to get you right. And if now it's amazing, because we have forecasting. We know what's coming in. We know what's going out. So, for example, I was so excited about the World Cup, because I'm like, oh my God, we're going to have this influx of business. We're actually going to be open for 30 days. That's an additional like $150,000, $200,000 potential of revenue for being open for 30 days, right? And my CFO, and I'm like, I'm going to do this, this, and that. He said, Joe, just remember this. Every dollar you bring in, you're only getting 10%. So that $100,000 or $200,000 you bring in, that's $10,000, $20,000. So how much money do you really want to invest into doing stuff? Because that's all the profit you're making. Right. Because if we're making the most healthy, beautiful, amazing restaurant ever, we're making 10% profit, right? And then if we're talking about a barbecue joint that if you have 40%, less than 40% food costs, you're the most amazing barbecue joint ever, and I know you don't. And we have steakhouse food costs, steakhouse prices with no alcohol sales.
Yeah.
Right. So we're these are like testimonials for the people who want to get started, and we're letting people hear multiple different points of view from people who have been there and done that, and who are at the point in life where they're almost jaded. They're so into it. You know what I don't mean that in a negative light. It's just funny. It's like, you know what I mean? And we're trying to get a lot of perspectives from Texas about what their journey was like to get to where they are now, the sacrifices, the highs, the lows, and everything. And this is amazing.
Well, the whole point of back on Jordan's point, the back end of it is a lot of what we're trying to coach people to do is that you got to come with a game plan. You know, I love these guys like Saban and this guy that just won the national championship. They have this very simple footprint that is, don't worry about the results. Don't worry about the outcome. You got to work on the processes. You got to put your boxing gloves on, and you got to hit people. You got to know, not really, but you got to know that entrepreneurship, opening up a barbecue restaurant, is not some sort of fantasy land where you make great barbecue and people are just going to come, because it just doesn't add up like that. It doesn't work.
No. There's only going to be one Disney World, and that's Franklin, right? Like, there's not going to be others of that. And I think all of us thought we were going to replicate Franklin, of selling 100 briskets or 85 briskets, 3-hour people line. Like, people don't have time for that. Like, we are at plates. People come in, we're a lunch spot. Like, we had to pivot who we were, right? And I think every community, like, if you don't invest into your community, you're not going to get any dividends out of it. And as a barbecue joint, you're the communal place for cities. And if you don't invest in your city and your community, you're not going to survive at all. And that's one thing that we really did, and I'm proud of. This is my hometown, but it goes back to like your sports team, right? Like, you have to become that sports team for your city from a barbecue aspect.
You do. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being excellent, what's your work-life balance? How is your work-life balance?
And how has it improved since you started the brick and mortar? Or maybe not. maybe that's improved.
So, when I got my cancer, it slowed my life down, and barbecue really did save my life, because like I didn't have anything else to think about besides barbecue, and then COVID happened. So all my process was like, how do we survive this, right? From a barbecue standpoint, and how do we not let go of our employees? I haven't personally cooked every single day. The last time I pulled I used to touch every single brisket and pull every single brisket. January of 2022, after the list came out, October 2021, January 2022, that was the last time I pulled every single brisket. So that was 4 years ago. So my work-life balance is good. I don't have to pull the briskets, but now it's like I'm struggling with how do I keep my expectations high and have them do it, because I used to get upset all the time. And I'm like, what are you not understanding? Like, this is how it should be. And then it's like, you just have to figure out how to re-communicate differently. So we put processes in place. Like now we have checklists. So it's very black and white. Did you do this? Yes or no? It's on a spreadsheet on an iPad. So they do that. So we can hold accountability on it. So that stuff is working, but then it got complex because like I got to go sell. Like now my job is to go sell other things for us to have revenue coming in so my employees can work. Because we have 6 smokers, and if all 6 smokers are not filled up, we're not making money, right? Like this last week, we have the storm and everything. Like we only have 1 smoker running, right? Because we're only cooking for the restaurant. Right. And so it's kind of like, we need to figure out how to do more, right? Then now I have a son. I have a wife. And my son is actually 7, and he's a drummer. Every Wednesday, I'm in a car watching y'all's YouTube videos. I send pictures to Jordan, and my son's in practice from 3:30 to 6:30, and I'm able to do that because my team is amazing. I went to Slovenia to teach barbecue for 9 days. I'm able to do that because my team's amazing. That's amazing. So we have these opportunities that are coming up, and we're able to do because my team's amazing. And my team doesn't get like jealous, like, oh, you got to go do all this cool stuff, because like they realize I'm who I am, and I tell them everything. They know I dread going to do that stuff, but I know I have to do that stuff because kind of like what you said before we got started, it's like we have to stay relevant, right? We have to do these podcasts. I have to go do these appearances, not because like I want to do them, not because I want to be this famous pitmaster, because there's only really a couple of those. Matt Pittman, Aaron Franklin, Arnie Tex, right? But it's one of those things of work-life balance. I get to do what I now get to be selective on what I want to do. So the stuff I say yes to, I really want to do. So that's the work-life balance I have now, where I don't say yes to everything, but I'm still like working, right? But I get to be selective on what I want to do. And if it's not a heck yeah, then it's I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
right.
I'm the same way, because we're opening up a restaurant here, Texan barbecue-ish as an ingredient. And then I'm going to do I love pizza. We're going to go there later, but I love pizza. I'm going to open up a pizza place. We got our shops. We got, it's just crazy. You didn't ask me, but I'm going to tell you, I've learned to have my work-life balance. When I go home, I shut everything down to have just the 1 hour or 2 hours before everybody goes to sleep. I'm like present, where in my earlier career, I wasn't. I was still dreaming up, I'm still working on problems, and right. I learned how to shoot that down and now focus on family, and, but it's,
I'm trying on that.
It's a struggle for entrepreneurs to do that, because really you can go home and get your best work done because you don't have people asking you questions and vendors showing up and all that. And that's where you can say, okay, I can plan the next thing. I can work on BBQ distro. I can do all that when I have silence.
Right.
Yeah. I'll say this, like, you have to really love, and it's cliche, love what you're doing. And it's not that it's not work. It is work, but you don't mind it. Like, you get excited for it. But it is hard work, and that's anything you select to do. Like, even if you wanted to be an astronaut, right? There's so much stuff you have to do to truly be an astronaut, right? And I think like Ernest with Burnt Beans said it, right? Like, the sacrifices he gave up to be number one. Like, you're crazy, right? Like, people think you're crazy. I don't think he's crazy, but you're in this whole different mindset. I knew I don't want that. That's not what I want. Some people want that, and Ernest and David wanted that. And they were successful. They got what they wanted, right? But I think if you truly put your mind to whatever you want, and not just like, oh, I'm gonna do this, that's why, like I go back and people say, like, how did you get where you got? And Jordan can tell you this, like, I was so consumed with barbecue, like I slept it, I ate it, I thought about it, I wrote about it, I analyzed it, like all I thought about was barbecue. Like, you have blinders on, like I didn't want to hang out with my friends. My friends knew where I was. They came and hung out with me because I was going to be barbecuing. It put strain in me and my wife's relationship. I know it did because all I care about is barbecue. But that's anything that you want to do. If people if you this sounds really crazy. Like, you can't have it all. Like, it's a triangle. Like, either you have this amazing job, this amazing family, and you have a lot of money or whatever, right? Like, you can't have it all. Like, there's going to be stuff that pulls away,
right?
Just because it's human nature and that's how nature works in the world. Like, you don't have it all. Like, it takes so much hard work to get what you want that something's going to be sacrificed. And I always say this to my son. I said, for every reaction, there's a reaction. It can be positive or negative, but there's going to be something that happens no matter what you do. So how much effort you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. And sometimes when it's a negative reaction, you learn from it. There's not such thing as a failure. You learn, and now you know not to do that, or you adjust to get over that issue that occurs from whatever thing you did.
And I
don't know if I answered any of the questions you asked.
No, listen, you covered all the questions without having us ask them, which is ridiculously crazy. I'm sitting there going, he answered that. So it's kind of like what our mission is, because you got to read through all the BS, because everybody's going to say, oh, he's doing this for this reason or that. We literally started sitting down 4 or 5 years ago and meeting. I'd go to Texas and we'd sit and talk, and we talked about what my passion was like, I don't want everybody to struggle, not only just learning how to cook a brisket. YouTube's great, all that stuff's great. So if we can build a curriculum in a university style where somebody can come in there and say, okay, like the scenario I said on the podcast yesterday, or whatever, last week's podcast, where you fall back and somebody catches you.
Right.
There has to be a place where people get reality. And Jordan's a big on reality. Hey, look, before you say you want to buy 4 pits, why don't you go out there and work for a week in a pit house? Yeah. There's this curriculum that could be given to people from all these people who've done this the last, say, 10 years, and say, hey, here's some pitfalls. You're going to fall in them.
Right.
Let me just warn you before you fall in them. So you can get home and see your family. So you can, by the way, know your numbers from day one. Know that you're going to be cash strapped, whether you think it or not.
Yeah, people that come up to me say, if you give me one piece of advice to starting a barbecue joint, I said from day one as a business, if it's not, don't do it. Right. Because if you don't know your business from day one, you're not going to survive. And then number 2, know that you're going to be doing everything, because you can't afford anybody for the first 2 years. Like, it's going to be your family and friends helping you out because they love you.
Washing dishes,
but no one's making money. Like, you're just barely scraping by. And then when you make enough money, you're going to hire somebody and you're still not paying yourself. Like, I've run my business for 10 years and I still haven't got a paycheck.
Yeah, I know the feeling. And I do know this. You've not gotten a paycheck of money, but the wisdom you get. I mean, just for the simple fact of when I started hiring people, I didn't know how to help them create value, to help the company create value, to help me being able to walk away from their task. And now I'm like going, okay, when somebody comes in, I know exactly. Jordan's a great trainer. We've got him training in the metal shop right now because he just knows how to do it. I'm like, hey, they need to know how to do this.
Right. He's a very particular individual.
Yes, but
very detail oriented.
That's part of the entrepreneurship. Knowing your numbers. We always say hire a good lawyer, hire a good accountant. Know from day one what your build out costs are, and then understand that there's going to be days where you're like going, this is not worth it.
Right.
And yeah, when I brought my CFO in, 1 week later, you realize my account was stealing money from me. So yes, even when you think people you can trust, like
you can't.
Yeah, you still have to have checks and balances, because you think people have their best interests in you and you want to be that way, but at the end of the day, humans are humans, and actually right now, like, I'm building a carport. I got 3 different quotes. One's $80,000, one is $30,000, and the other one's $13,000. The $30,000 one, I know the guy, and I say, hey, I just want to make sure you're doing apples from apples. Like, I showed him $13,000 quote because I like the guy and I know him personally. And he's like, oh, he's like, I get it. Like, wow, I give him 25, and then 2 minutes later, he's like, I get it down to 21. That's the lowest I can get. And I'm like, whoa. So how do you? Because he told me that in the email that the 13K was just what metal was, right, for him. Right. So it just shows you, like, even if people, you think the people that you know have their best interest in you, like, and that's the other thing. People, you own a restaurant industry, you own a business, everybody thinks you're rich, right? And I don't mean that like, oh yeah, I'm rich. It's like, no, people literally think we're rich.
That a lot. Like,
But the customer's got to trust you until they don't. And you want to always make sure that every time they show up, it's their first visit, and you're going to reignite the trust. And whether it's barbecue.
And also, like, I'm willing to pay more. Like, I have like my plumber and my electrician, like I pay them and I know they're a little more, but they always put me first in the list. So I'm good with that, right? Like, I know what I like. Everybody has issues, but if I have a real issue, they show up immediately, right? So I will pay you more because you're putting me first on the list, and I appreciate that. So, like, it's not one of those things that you're always looking for the best price. It's just one of those things of what's perceived value for you, and you're willing to pay, right?
Right. I think we have one more question, JD.
Which one? Is that me?
Yeah. So that's something we're probably going to ask everybody that comes on the show that we've kind of talked about is...
Go ahead.
Like...
You ask it. I don't know what you're talking about.
Was this one?
Yeah, like
ask them all. Ask them all. I will do it fast. Say I can only give one word answers. And then
rapid. We got to start rapid fire. We got to do a rapid fire where we do a. Here we'll do a real quick rapid fire just because we might. Here's one right here. So where are we going in the next 3 years? You got something you can tell us what you're doing? You got something new? New locations? Are you scaling?
Our goal is to open up multiple Moss Coffee Co's. That's our primary focus right now.
That's
awesome. To get 3 open in the next 18, 24 months. And then after that, get up to, once we get the process in place, we'll have to get up to 15, 20 in the next, 5 to 7 years.
That's awesome.
I'm over here. We're rookies at this, but we're gonna dial this in. I'm gonna be Tom Brady, and you're going to be...
All right. Bill Belichick, he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I can't believe it. That's a disgrace.
That is crazy. So we all know that hindsight's 2020. What is something you would have done differently going into knowing what you know now?
Build a bigger place, better indoor seating, and 20 pits, and we don't run out of food, and we're open 7 days a week. And then Moss Coffee Co. is right next to it. Like, awesome. I have people want to open up joints all the time, and I'm like, I'm not doing top 50s. And then I'm like, we're just gonna make delicious barbecue, be open 7 days a week, and I'm putting $0 in. I want 40%, and I'll teach you how to do everything.
Last question. This is one we're gonna ask everybody.
Yep.
Is what advice for somebody that's sitting on the sideline that's listening to this podcast? And they're like, I want to do this. And they need to go over the edge. They need that piece of advice, good or bad. What is it to motivate somebody to do, open up a barbecue restaurant?
You have to be willing to sacrifice it all, because if you truly want barbecue to be your life, it's going to be very hard and painful. And the growth enjoy the growth. Like, don't be afraid of it. Enjoy it. It makes you who you are, and build an unbelievable team, and don't cut corners, because like first time you cut a corner is like the first time you quit, right? Then everything's done after that. Like you're just done. Like, just walk away, because like you don't really have it in you. Like, if you're willing to sacrifice it all, like cooking in the rain because you have to be open tomorrow at 11. And it's raining all night long, and the rain stops at 10:30, 30 minutes beforehand. And you're like, what happened? Why couldn't this happen like later, right? And you're like, no. Like, so like it's snowing, it's raining, like your employee doesn't show up because they had too much of a great time, and you get a phone call like in the middle of 2:00 in the morning. Like, we thought our walk-in went out last week, because we put a slow start on it because before we could hook up a generator, and I saw that it was at 45 degrees for the last 5 hours, and it's like 3:00 in the morning. I like wake up because I have everything digital on my phone, and I told my wife, Kristen, hey, I got to go to the restaurant. She said, everything okay? I said, no. I said, I think the walk-in's broken, and sure enough, it was because of that sensor we put on, so we had to switch it off. But like, it's just one of those things, like, you don't. I'm 10 years in, right?
Yeah.
So
it doesn't happen at 10 o'clock in the morning either. It happens at 3 o'clock in the middle of the night.
And, in 15 minutes I'm there, right? But you just have to be willing. Like, if you're not willing to sacrifice it all, don't do it. And that's not barbecue. That's anything. Like, if you're not, if you truly want something, you have to be willing to sacrifice it all, because it's going to come down to you sacrificing it all.
That's right.
Like after my child was born, looking back at it, it was stupid. Like I went to our pop-up afterwards to make sure everything was okay. Like I left my wife with my child that was just born to go make sure that
Right.
the service was going well.
I know it's like bringing back haunting dreams or nightmares. It's also it's got a positive element, because when you see it through, which was one of the questions, I guess we just said the last question, but really this is a question that is fun to answer too. Is like, when did you say, okay, I got this, good or bad? I got to feel. Did it take you 6 months, a year?
No, as much as as everybody says, the list doesn't matter, because I'm not on the list, but it did. The sacrifice we made to get on at 21, that was the first time I got to enjoy it and say, we made it, because it wasn't. Sorry, dang, I cussed. It was so pure, because like now I was equal to my peers, the people I looked up to,
right.
The Jordan Jacksons of the world, the Reed Guests of the world. I was equal now. Like I was them, and it was awesome. And like now they're my friends and my peers. Like true, like I don't feel imposter syndrome anymore. I did until I made that list, and like even now, like we didn't make the list, but like I'm okay. I was more sad for my team not making it. But I know our barbecue was great. Like
super relevant. I mean, it's just part of the times of the list. After
that list
17 is kind of
doo-doo either.
And the greatest thing about it is last year was the most successful year in Zavala's barbecue history.
Right.
Like we had the best success ever, sales wise, revenue wise, profit wise, everything, and we didn't make the list.
Right. The list is great. It did a lot for my life, but it also wasn't everything like people think it is.
It's a great driver for people outside of the state of Texas, a tourism driver.
Right, it's tourism.
You got to bring in some new fish. There's guys that aren't on the list. There's been places that aren't on the list that are great.
Right.
It's just,
I owe so much to that whole experience. And I mean, my goal was not to be on that list. It was to just give Longview something to look forward to in a barbecue point of view.
That's it.
That's all
in
I
the community.
wanted. Yeah, I wanted our community. There's a part of you that I wanted the Texas Monthly to like the barbecue and not me. I don't want the camera, and I'm sitting here in front of 3 cameras. But what I mean by that is I wasn't looking for me personally. I didn't want the notoriety. I wanted Longview to have the notoriety for a gym that had been there for 50 years before me. I was lucky enough to get to work with the person that started that tradition and bring that trophy home for us. And that was cool to get notoriety for our city that had just been doing barbecue great for so long. I mean, that's one of the proudest moments for me. It wasn't the list for myself.
In a time that Central Texas was getting Dallas, Houston, Austin was getting all the spotlight to go to East Texas.
Everybody laughed about it and was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. It can't be true. That can't be true. And then, you know what it was? All we had to do is wake up and cook the same barbecue that we already were cooking and let people decide for themselves. And the only drawback I didn't like about it was some days I did not want to wake up and be number 4 because of the spotlight. And it was like, today I'm not feeling number 4. It's hard. It was a hard thing to have to do every day.
You got to win a Super Bowl, and then you got to go back the next week and go back to the gym. And
you do, and you got to start all over. It was stressful, but I don't regret any of it. It happened. It was great. It was
an unbelievable moment. Yeah. I'm super blessed. It opened up a lot of doors for us. It made us create our standards that what they are, right?
For real.
And that's where we stay. and our food's only got better. And it's but now I will say that the weight feels so much better not having it on.
Right.
Like, yeah, I wish we had it. I get it.
Right.
But I thought I was gonna be more sad, depressed, upset, like mad, and it was more of a relief. And then seeing our success post it made it even better. I'm like, oh, okay. Like I thought our business was gonna like drop dramatically. We were gonna go out of business because no one wanted to eat here.
Right.
And then I think I would say majority of the people tell us congratulations for making the list, and I laugh because I'm like, we're not on the list. I don't correct them. I'm not going to correct them, but I just laugh because I'm like, everybody still thinks we're on the list. So,
Nobody knows what number you are. You could simply be,
but you're like, you are, it's like what you're. I guess it's like once you're. I'm not saying we're in the Hall of Fame, but like once you wear the jacket, you kind of always wear the jacket, and
yeah.
It's like a new class every 4 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
it's been a great ride.
Right.
It's been I've been so blessed. I wouldn't change anything for the world. I would do the exact same thing, every single thing that I did, because it's made me who I am. And it's like my son. My son is a restaurant and a barbecue baby. Like he loves festivals. He loves, like Jordan knows this. Like our kids just run around everywhere because it's our kid, and everybody's, oh, there's little Jose.
Oh yeah,
and it's the coolest thing ever. I think
it is.
I don't think he would want his life different either. I think he loves being a barbecue kid.
Oh, I had the health inspector come in one time and tell me and my wife the baby in diapers has got to get out behind the register. Somebody complained. The health inspector walked in and said, yeah, somebody's complained.
My little baby was
Part of it.
How was it? The baby was a year old over at Gladewater, and she stayed behind the counter, and people watched her grow. Every single day she was at lunch, and she just waved at people and ate turkey.
Yep.
And it was part of our story,
I wish I could have been like that as a kid.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, we could make this thing last as long as a Rogan podcast. And
if y'all ever want to do it again, let me know.
I think we're gonna probably have to dive in again. We're just, our whole purpose is we're just trying to dive into this series about just helping people understand what the real world looks like in a restaurant. And I appreciate it. Once again, shout out to everybody. Joe Zavala's down there in
Grand
Prairie, Arlington,
Texas.
is all I know. You just
Grand Prairie, Texas, located on Brisket and Main and Sloppy-Wan Way in Main Street in downtown Grand Prairie.
That's part of investing in the community. You bought those streets, didn't you? Or
yeah, we paid to get the city to change those street names.
That's
wow,
the best investment I ever did in my life.
Shout out your Instagram, where people can find you.
You can find us everywhere at Zavala's BBQ, spelled out BARBECUE, the right way.
Except
Facebook,
when I
Instagram, Twitter.
Except when I
Are
spell
you a
it.
Q guy?
No, I made signs. I went through this phase. I was kind of manic, and I was carving signs. And I carved Joe for his opening a sign. I hand carved it with chisels, and I wrote Zavala's.
It's still there.
It's still there in the window. Barbecue.
Oh, yeah,
BARB.
can't do that.
I didn't spell it right.
Well,
It's awesome.
man, thank you so much for being on.
Thank y'all.
You're the first guest, so you helped us.
I love it.
Kind of get our feet wet here.
Standards high. So high now.
Now from here on.
It's so high, baby.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Joe. I appreciate it, and all the best, and enjoy the big soccer engagement.
For sure. Appreciate y'all.
All right. Thank you. Now. See
Love you, bud.
Bye.